However, looking at it, there is something that comes to anyone's attention, and is the lack of diversity among the staff.
What would it be like to be rejected several times from a job? Would you still take the chance on another application? Deloitte reports that businesses with a greater diversity experience 2.3 times better cash flow per employee. And Gartner reports that inclusive teams can enhance team performance in high diversity situations by up to 30%. However, just 40% of workers believe that their managers can provide an inclusive workspace. Imagine working with people from all cultures. You will be able to know how they do things differently from you. You can even try to see how those cultures fit into you. Amazing, right? But is the situation amazing in all senses? In some quarters of the corporate world, diversity has earned a bad reputation. US firms have been following strict employment practices after the conservative supermajority of the Supreme Court, which said that race could no longer be considered in college admission decisions. Want to know what is the worst part? Even people of high importance, like Donald Trump and other prominent personalities from Silicon Valley to Wall Street, have launched their strong opposition against DEI. Does this mean those people won't be enjoying the benefits anymore? Now, what would that look like to hear the real-life experience of an employee working in the plastic industry? What does this person have to say about the diversity in the workplace? A few years back, an interview was conducted with Allison Lin, a renowned plastics expert. She has also held high positions in plastics processors and brand owners. At the time, Westfall Technic Incorporated, which is a significant injection molder and tool maker, employed Lin as a senior vice president of sustainability and market development. She is now Mars Incorporated worldwide vice president of packaging sustainability. She was asked, "Do you feel welcome in the plastics and packaging sector?" And she replied, "The manufacturing sector has a predominantly white male population. I'm usually the only woman and person of color in the room." What might she be referring to? Is she saying that she is getting preference because she is a person of color? Lin continued, "The word welcome is highly vague and biased, whether conscious or unconscious, is always present. Most of the activities taking place inside are male-centered, and in my profession, there is a lot of the good old boys club mentality. We might have seen situations where people have been discriminated against based on their color. However, according to Lin, the story is different. She said, while she is working, there is always an increase in awareness and room for improvement, and that the white co-workers are always open and ready to help her. Did you know that New York City has the most colored people of any metropolitan city? There are 3.6 million colored Americans living in the city. We can see that Lin is happy at her workplace with groups like the Plastic Industry Association and the Society of Plastic Engineers. She believes that she can improve a lot with them. But should we see this as one of the rare situations where people of color were treated equally? You might be aware of the case of George Floyd's murder. After the incident, a large number of American businesses have made inclusion, equality, and diversity as top concerns, and companies were compelled to demonstrate that they were improving. According to a Twitter post made by Joe Biden, he shared his take on George Floyd's murder. In the post, he said that Floyd's murder exposed how black and brown communities have long been treated. He also shared that America should follow a fair and impartial justice for all. He added, "Let us build on the progress we have made and recommit to changing hearts and minds as well as laws and policies." Want to know how people took this issue? They came to support those companies that made a stand in favor of colored people. We all know that Johnson & Johnson, a famous brand that comes to mind when we want to buy baby cosmetics. The company is aiming to have 50% reservation for women by 2025. Moreover, they said that they are planning to have 35% reservation for management positions. What do you think? Do you believe that reservations is done only for the benefit of colored people? Everybody supported the companies who made diversity their top priority until this happened. Due to huge opposition from people, brands are now afraid to take pro-diversity stances. As you know, every individual can make an impact on their social media platforms. If anyone turned against their brand, there wouldn't be any more demand for their products. For instance, people find pleasure in degrading popular brands such as Bud Light, Target, and Sports Illustrated, and they say, "Go woke, go broke." According to a recent post from Twitter, there is a controversy happening in the workplace that considers menopause as a disability. According to the Equality and Human Rights Commission, menopause is considered a disability, and they are warning companies who are not ready to give consideration to menopausal employees. Even though this law is made in favor of those employees going through menopause, some raised concerns about considering menopause as a disability. Some critics stated this is a matter of health, not law. Some people that make legal laws regarding menopause implies such employees are no longer fit for work. Moreover, they believe that the recruiters will show shyness when hiring such people. What are your thoughts? Can giving menopause consideration be taken as a topic for criticism? Imagine you are a person who has been working so hard to grab a top job in the US. You have been burning the midnight oil for the past 6 months, thinking that all the hard work will finally pay off. Finally, the day of hiring comes, and you performed well. Moreover, you are confident that you will be hired. However, fate has something else in store for you. According to DEI law, a portion of the seats are reserved for people of color. Just because of that very reason, you were not hired. You felt bad and are now fighting for justice. Supporting your claims, a Twitter post from America Works came. They said that DEI is only for government, corporate, and university-sponsored racism, and it has no place in America. Elon Musk wrote, "Discrimination on the basis of race, which DEI does, is literally the definition of racism." However, the big picture shows that reservations are good, since people of color are treated badly. But what would the situation be if society started to see them as one among us? Will we still need a reservation? And sometimes, giving reservations might not help them. Instead, it can affect their mental health, since they are treated indifferently. Do you know that famous personalities are against DEI? But is that making any difference in how the government implements them? You would be surprised to know that most of these roles are for the senior level. Imagine that after getting rejected many times due to DEI, you finally end up in your dream organization. Everything goes well until this happened. You have been working in the organization for 5 years, and now it is time for you to take on a senior role. However, there was no difference between night and day. After years of hard work, you were again pulled off from what you deserved. Here, we wrap up the role of diversity in the workplace and how it is affecting US employees. We hope you found these insights enlightening and thought-provoking. If so, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on the notifications. Until next time.